Hey guys, Danny Johnson here, and today we're looking at the 20 volt max batteries from DeWalt. So these come in different sizes, as you can see, and the one we're going to be particularly looking at today is the FlexVolt battery. So hopefully I can answer a few questions. First of all, on the side you'll see this is 20 volt max or 60 volt max, and it says 6Ah on it, meaning that this battery can put out a consistent 6 amps for 1 full hour before it would die. Now keep in mind that rating is under perfect conditions, and you usually don't get exactly that out of it, especially with heat and other factors that involve that will limit the battery's use. And especially on some of these flex volt tools, you'll see that they have like a 13 amp motor, so you're going to get less than half of an hour of continuous use out of it, but it's still pretty good. So this model number is the DCB606. These FlexVolt batteries are about $138, and DeWalt basically claims that it's the power of a corded tool, so it's a great improvement. So we'll go ahead and take a look at it here. The battery is very big, as you can tell, and on the front of it it's really nice because it has the fuel gauge that tells you how full the battery is. It would like you to have the cover installed when you're transporting it, and anyway, just put it on when it's not being used. What I want to show you is a regular 20 volt tool will fit on here. You want to be careful on what you're using it for. This is 20 volt max, so this tool can be operated, but people have reported that they can burn their tools up if you're using them really hard. So I would only use a FlexVolt battery with a traditional DeWalt tool very mildly. If you're going to be full trigger burning the thing up, then I'd use the regular 20 volt max battery. But they are compatible for other tools. So here's the regular 20 volt max battery that goes on to the tool here. But let me show you here, when you have a FlexVolt actual item like this one, if it says FlexVolt on the tool, it has little tabs here that will allow you to only run a FlexVolt battery. So as you see, it will not fit on a regular battery. And at first I thought, hey, they're both 20 volt. This is going to be great. It does not fit. So that those little tabs there will make it so you cannot run a battery unless it is the FlexVolt. You can see the FlexVolt has these two notches on the side, and so that allows you to use a FlexVolt battery only with a FlexVolt tool. So the battery can be used on most of the DeWalt tools, but the tool itself, if it's a FlexVolt tool, generally will only accept a FlexVolt battery. So just wanted to make that clear and show you that, since that was a little bit of a surprise to me. And we can talk a little more about which compatibility there are for batteries. So the first thing you want to do is look at the tool itself. And so this one, for example, you can see says 20 volt max. So you need to make sure the battery says at least that. On this one, it's brushless, which isn't as important, but it says 60 volt max. So that's why that tool will only accept the 60 volt bigger battery. As you see on the box, it says it's a 60 volt lithium ion battery here. And so it is important for that. It's a little confusing because when you look at the FlexVolt battery, the battery says it can do 20 volt, 60 volt, or 120 volt. And so you think that the tool could also do all three of those, but that's not the case. This one is a 60 volt tool, so it will only do a 60 volt compatible battery. Now, DeWalt's website is great, and they have all the information that you'll need, but it's just tons of model numbers that will probably confuse you. So the easiest way to put this is that if the tool is a 20 volt max, it can run on basically any battery that you throw at it. The 20 volt, 60 volt max FlexVolt one, as you saw, it will work just fine. But the whole idea here is a higher output tool like the FlexVolt. They just don't want you to use a lesser battery for it. When you try to use a smaller 20 volt max one with the FlexVolt battery, it will work fine. It'll just step it down from the 60 volt max and only take the maximum output that the tool can do, which was the 20 volt max. So again, you have the tabs that will make sure that you don't put the battery on. So if the battery doesn't fit, don't tamper with it, don't try to use it, but basically the battery just would not be powerful enough to run the tool is the main concern. So it's not so much about the battery being too powerful, because the tool will only draw its max voltage. And so then regarding the tool itself, if it's a FlexVolt tool and it says right on the side that it's the 60 volt max, it will say that it can run on pretty much all of those, but basically it will have to be the bigger FlexVolt batteries for it to operate. Some tools that you'll see will just be 2 of the 60 volt batteries combined to make the 120 volt, but that's just another way of them getting to that total 120 volts. Now, you've probably also seen XR, and that just means extended run time. So the battery just lasts a little bit longer, but it's the same basically to use on all of your 20 volt max tools. Now let's talk about charging. When I came home with the FlexVolt battery, I put it into a regular charger. So to answer that question, yes, you can put a FlexVolt battery on any of your regular chargers, as long as it's a 20 volt charger. However, it took over 2 hours for it to charge the FlexVolt battery. They got a little bit warm. I was checking on that, but there was nothing too out of the ordinary. And I used the smallest charger that I had just for curiosity, so maybe it would have been a little bit better with the slightly bigger charger. But you might want to invest in one of the fast chargers, the rapid charger. It will definitely charge it a lot faster. So a regular, bigger battery took about half an hour. The FlexVolt battery took 2 hours to charge. So for me, I use these tools just on weekends. It's not part of my regular job, so I really don't need the fast charger. I can plug it in and use it as needed. I can stand to wait. So it just depends on your use for it. But if you're using these tools on a daily basis, the rapid charger might be a good thing for you to look at. So anyway, that was just kind of a quick overview here, just showing you how the FlexVolt batteries can be used on pretty much all of the 20 volt max tools. Remember, some people have reported burning the tools up because of just if they're doing a meltdown on the thing and using it so much. So again, I'd just be careful with it. DeWalt does say that you can use it on all of the 20 volt max tools, and that's why it says right on the side of the battery 20 volt max or 60 volt max. So these other batteries are pretty good too, but obviously they'll last a little bit longer if they have a higher amp hour rating on the side. So anyway, thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.